Hello and welcome back to the Alteryx Weekly Challenge from me, Nick Bignell. This is challenge number 141, examination of data simulation. So we are going to generate some sample data to represent a population is key in many type of analysis. So the workflow, we have a list of 1,000 people and we want to simulate a test score for each person. Okay, so we're going to use a simulation of some sort to generate this. Score must be between 50 and 90 percent, and the simulated score must be randomly generated in a normal distribution where the population mean is 70. After creating the simulated test results, build a chart to view it. So this is the chart that we're aiming at. Okay, so let's have a look at the workflow. So we have here, we have a start file with some names and email address, and then that's it. Of 1,000, I think it's 1,000 records, I guess. And then here we have the same name, address, email address, and then a score. Okay. So that's the actual score. Interesting. And then this is the distribution that we're looking at. Okay. So let's see. Now, simulation or sample simulation, I think, is in one of these predictive tools. It's not in that one. Is it? No, it won't be grouping. Here we are, simulation sampling. So I think it's the sampling one that does it. So if we have a look at that, so I don't know, Monte Carlo, or I don't know what these actually mean, but I don't know what the chunk size is, but the number of iterations I think is to do with how many you want out the back of it. So that's should be 1,000. And here we go. So this gives us a normal distribution by the looks of it. We can have other types. Uniform, what does that do? Okay, so that makes all the same. So we want a normal distribution as per the instruction. So simulated score must be randomly generated in a normal distribution. Okay, what we're going to call it, exam score, was it? Yeah. And so the mean is 70, so I guess we can just put 70 in there. Okay, now it's moved it, but it's not, it's got to be between 50 and 90. So upper, there we go, 50 and 90. So lower is 50, upper is 90. That hasn't changed that. We move this. There we go. Does that work? Still not high enough. Oh, there we go. That's interesting. I don't know what this. Oh, okay, that's too far. 7's too far. It's taken us beyond 90, so we've got to be between 50 and 90. 5 looks like it. Oh. 4. Oh, that'll do. 4.9 or something seems to be okay. Right. Let's then. So what we've got to do is bin them so we can add them together. I think we can have a look at that in a minute. But so let's just run this and see what we get out the back of it. Okay, so here's the scores we're getting. That looks okay. But what we'll need to do is group them. I think we can, it looks like it's probably on every number basis by this chart here. So if we create a this? This just says score. Right, I think we can, let's rename this to be just score, and we'll use another. So if we then take that and we call it exam score, and then we just take the score but we make it an integer. Okay, what does that do? Yeah, here we go. So it's binned them, basically grouped them into like the nearest foot integer number, which is effectively binning them into groups. So yeah, here we go. These two will be grouped together. So we can utilize that, I think, for our view here. So let's now bring it in with this number here. I think we'll have to join these together. I don't know if we've got anything to join them on. Let's just, what we can do is generate a record ID on that one. And if we generate another record ID on this one, and we join them on the record ID, that will bring them all together. We don't need that again. Probably don't need that the first time either. There we go. So we now have 1,000 records and they have a simulated exam score. This is the actual score, and then this is the exam score. So we now just need to build this chart. So if we go into interactive charts and then start configuring it, should be fairly straightforward. Add a layer. We want to scatter plot. X-axis we want to be the exam score. Y-axis we want to be the yeah, that's too many. Actually, we want the top number in each one. Hang on, let's close that and start going again. We need to bin them together, don't we? Group them together effectively. So let's take that exam score and group by, and then we want to take a count of each one of those. Okay, so that will give us our chart. I think for the output, this output here, while we're there, is we just take the fields we need for that. From the join, we want the first name and email, then we want the score. We don't need this other stuff on there, so let's just stick a browse on the end of that. That should give us the results here. And this one, if we configure that again, so we got the exam score across the bottom, and then we want the count across the top, across the y-axis. Is that doing it? Can't see. Okay, let's run it and see what happens there. If I actually put a browse at the end so we can see the results. Okay, here we go. So we now have, you now have that distribution. It looks kind of similar, I think, to the distribution here. Yep, pretty similar. We have our distribution and we have our end results. So the numbers will be different because they're simulated, but yep, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.